Hello everyone, it's your boy B3 back with another kicking movie reaction review. You all know what we're reviewing today, because last time I told you, She-Wolf of London. I have a lot to say about this Universal horror flick. So it's included on the Wolfman Legacy Collection set that has all the original Universal werewolf movies on it. And spoiler alert, this is not a werewolf movie. It's included on the set, even though it's not a goddamn werewolf movie. The title of it implies that it's a sequel to Werewolf of London, which it's not. And then... and then... there's not even a fucking werewolf in it! But it's on a set of werewolf movies! And there is not a werewolf in it! So it's a movie about this house full of women. One of them thinks she's a werewolf because all these murders are happening near their home. And... just straight up, I knew she would not be the werewolf. I thought there was a werewolf, but I knew she would not be the werewolf. So, because they wouldn't show the werewolf, is how I knew she wouldn't be the werewolf. That's how I knew. But I thought that the kind of mother figure in the house was the werewolf, and she was going to, like, blame all the werewolf happenings on this character. I was sort of right, sort of wrong, because this is a big spoiler for the ending. The big twist is that there's not a werewolf. The mother figure has been manipulating everyone in the house and has been killing people so that it seems like... okay, so here's the thing. The mother character is the mother to one of the women, but not the other woman. She says she's her aunt, but she's actually just the keeper of the house. And then when that woman gets married to this rich man, she's going to leave that house, and then this woman and her daughter will be out on the streets because they'll lose their job. She'll lose her job as keeper of the house because there'll be no one left in it. Now, she likes to pretend that she's a high society rich person. She has a servant that she orders around and isn't very nice to, as if she's not also a servant. And all this stuff. She won't let her daughter date this artist because he's not rich. And she's trying to manipulate the woman whose estate owns the house into going insane, so that she won't be marriage material for the rich man and her daughter can marry the rich man. Because her daughter and the rich man, Barry, are actually close. They are good friends. And she thinks, oh, they'll definitely get married if this woman's out of the picture, and then I don't ever have to leave this house. Because my daughter will have married a rich man. Which, actually, if you think about it, doesn't make sense. Because it's not his estate, it's her estate. So if she goes insane, she's still out of the house. And then eventually, she's like, well, I guess I have to murder her because it's so weird. The way I understand it is she, like, wasn't going to have her sent to a mental institution, so she would just stay in the house and not marry because she thought she was crazy. But then all this stuff happens, and eventually she's like, I can't let you leave, you have to die so that my daughter can marry a rich man. But then you still have to leave the house is the problem. So the murderer's plan doesn't make a lot of sense. And it's actually a great reveal. Like, I thought she was the murderer the whole time, but I also thought she was a werewolf. This movie almost kind of does what the original Wolfman originally wanted to do, where it's like, is there a werewolf or not? Or is someone just insane? Leave it open to interpretation. But this movie at the end is like, there's no werewolf. And that's not a bad thing. It's actually a really interesting ending of the film. It's a really cool twist. But the problem is that it is in a box set of werewolf movies. If it was in just a general horror movie or universal horror set, I would be completely fine. There would be zero complaints. But it's in a set of werewolf movies, and there's no werewolf in the goddamn movie. It's like there's this kaiju box set I have that I got from a grocery store forever ago. And it has a movie on it that's not a kaiju movie. And as a kid, I was like, why is this film on here? It was Warning from Space, I think. I can't remember what the movie was, but it didn't have a kaiju in it. And I was like, why is this in the set? And then we fucking get to this set, which isn't just some public domain throwaway set. This is a licensed set from Universal for their own movies. Why is this movie on it? It doesn't make sense. No wonder in the special features documentaries on the Wolfman films, this movie wasn't mentioned. At first I was like, it's kind of sexist that film isn't mentioned on a Wolfman documentary I saw, but that's because I hadn't seen this movie. I actually hadn't seen this or Werewolf of London before I reviewed them. I actually only recently got these movies. I'd only seen the Lon Chaney Wolfman appearances. But then I was like, oh, no wonder it's not on the fucking documentary, because there's not a werewolf in it. So, why is it included in a werewolf movie set? They thought it didn't belong on the set's documentary, but it did belong in the set? No. And there is part of me that's glad it's in the set, because it makes the set more worth... Like, I paid $14 for this set. And there were only 3 movies in the set that I didn't already have. Because if you get all the Universal Legacy collections for their monsters, there are going to be a lot of repeat movies. You're going to get Frankenstein Meets the Wolfman twice. You're going to get House of Frankenstein 3 times. You're going to get House of Dracula 3 times. You're going to get Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein 3 times. So you're going to have a lot of repeat movies. So, you know, at least when I bought the set, there were 3 movies on it that I didn't have copies of, and 2 I hadn't seen, instead of 2 movies I didn't have copies of, and 1 I hadn't seen. So that makes it more worth the money that it's on the set. And in a way, it kind of also makes the twist better if you think about it. Because when I was watching this, I was kind of thinking, this movie seems like one where it'll just end up not having the werewolf. But, see, I actually thought that early in the film when we first see the mysterious cloaked woman leaving the house. I was like, that doesn't seem like a werewolf. I actually thought the twist must be that there's not a werewolf. But I only thought that for a second, because I was like, if it's included on a set of werewolf movies, surely that can't be the case. So they got me. You tricked me. And that actually made the movie, in a way, more enjoyable. So that was cool. So I'll let you make your own decisions on this movie. I've actually found that most people who watch my movie reaction reviews have already seen the film, which is very interesting. I guess that's just because they want to discuss it with someone. Because I get a lot of comments from people that are like, when I watched the film, or what I think of the film, and it's like, I don't watch reviews of things that... I don't watch reviews of movies that I've seen. I actually don't watch really reviews of movies at all. So I didn't really understand it, but I guess I kind of do now. But that's it. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below. Facebook, Twitter, etc. I don't know what the next review will be over. Maybe Flash Gordon, Rocket Ship. Maybe Killers from Space. I honestly don't know. Phantom from Space might be a good one. I kind of want to do some spacey stuff. Uh, or I might actually do Invisible Man movies, but I need to get that Legacy collection still. But since I'm recording this in October, that means there are a bunch of them on the shelves. So that's it. Thank you all once again for your support. I'm going to go rewatch all the Universal Mummy movies, and I'll see you all next time.